What's up Saab fans around the world, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a truly epic build and new video. I'm going to try to bring you the best of Saab content that I possibly can. So right now we're standing in an empty garage, but the start of this build is actually behind me right here. And judging by the thumbnail of this video, you could probably already guess it, but we are going to build an NG95 Sports Combi. So back in March this year, I bought a complete Opel Insignia Tourer to be able to build an NG95 Sports Combi right there, and then it was a bit more than a handful. I didn't have time for it. Right now I don't really have time for it either, but I want to take the first step. I have never done anything like this before, so this will be trial and error and just go with the flow. So you could probably guess, behind the blanket we have an Insignia Sports Combi rear door or trunk or what you call it, and we are going to use the upper part of this. So we are going to use the window part, which is going to be the back of the car, and we are going to modify it quite a bit. And now, since we have it off, I'm going to start to disassemble everything that is below the window, and we will start to cut and get into this, so we get only the top part. As I said, I have never done anything like this, but I think I have a good idea of how it should look or how it should be built. So we will just see, we will go with the flow and we will see where we end up. So we are going to start by removing all of these nuts that sit on the inside. That's probably holding the outside trim together. We are going to remove this harness and save that for later. I think there will be a combination of splicing in this harness into the NG95s, and then we would drill out some of these rivets. I guess they are filling a function by holding stuff together as well. And yeah, should be quite exciting. So finally we got the outer parts off, with a bit of violence to say the least, but a few of these bolts were rusted off, so really nothing to do. Yes, you could spend the time in cutting them off, but since we are not going to use the lower part, no need to. And now comes the tricky part, because when assembling this to the NG95 trunk, I'm going to reuse some of the material underneath the window, so I don't want to cut too close to the window at this stage, because I don't know exactly how much material I want to have left. So we are going to cut a few centimeters below the window, And I'm going to cover up the window as well, because last time I did this on the rear wheel drive, with cutting and welding, all of these sparks burn into the window and then the window becomes really ugly. So we are going to mask that off and start to cut. Here you can see a few of the cuts went through all the way, so we just need to follow this line around and it should come off. So here we have the rear window together with the frame, so to speak. So I have left quite a lot of material, so there will be plenty to adjust and to really fit in when the time has come. I just need to find a used NG95 trunk in decent condition, because I'm going to reuse the lower part. But I'm going to remove these side trim from the window because I don't want them to be on the glass. So I'm just going to use the heat gun and the knife, heat them up, then just remove them. Now we have the rear glass fully prepped and ready. We got the spoiler down here, and we got the NG95 spoiler in this box right here. So now we are going to pull the car into the garage and we will see how everything lines up. Quite exciting. So here we have my 2011 NG95, which I bought as a Vector. I bought it really cheap. I have repainted the car fully. It has got a ton of modifications. It's got a new upgraded turbo. It's got the intercooler, big brakes, coilover suspension, you name it. The only thing right now that is going to be a little bit in the way is the Toon Style or Hirsch look spoiler, because the body line will follow underneath this, so it will not give an exact look of how it should look. And we also have a couple of centimeters of material right here. This should not be here either. I think it should be almost flush against the trunk or the boot lid, with a cut underneath this window. But today we are just going to cover up everything with like a blanket so we don't damage the paint. we will set up the rear spoiler, and we will lay down some wood to simulate the roof line, and we will see how it looks. Quite exciting, to say the least. Right now I have 27.5 Celsius in the garage, and it's like 58% humidity. It's really hot, and I got a little bit carried away with the build. So do you want to see what it looks like right now? So this is like my first take of an NG95 Sports Combi prototype. This will of course be refined. The spoiler is not attached 100%, and I have started to make the side windows. I added some door trim that I had laying around in the garage to just create a roof line, and now I'm going to tape up the side with tape, so I can use some black electrical tape to symbolize the rear window. But I think this is going to turn out sick. You want to see what it looks like from behind? I know that the rear window should be tilted a little bit more, it should be lower down, but how sick isn't this looking? And the rear spoiler makes it also sit a little bit higher, it should come lower down. And we are going to adjust a few things that I would like to add to the build, but we will start by making the rear window, so we get that fixed. So from behind right now we got a pretty good idea how the car would look. The spoiler on the Insignia is not fully attached. That's a little bit why it's tilting, and also we have material like 1-2 centimeters that could be removed right here. The wing should not be here because it's resting on the wing, so that makes it sit a few centimeters higher. Otherwise the line on the roof would be perfect. I would see if I could add this wing without everything just falling apart. So I think I actually want to tape this in as well. Just to see how everything will look. So if you look here right now, the Insignia body line goes down and ends up out here in the panel, whilst the NG95 would have followed this curve and end up somewhere here. It's a little bit of a different angle, but I'm thinking something like this. So if we start from here and come down approximately here. I don't know how easy it is or if it's even possible to cut glass, but I guess it is. So if I will hit up the local firm that are dealing with car glass, and I would see if they are able to modify this window and just cut it straight down so it follow this body line up through the roof. Then I don't know how to solve this right here, but then we need to have a curvature of the window, and we need to extend the panel that goes out right here. So as I said, I'm not sure if it's even possible. It could be quite hard because on the inside here the seal goes for the window, and that might not be as easy to modify, but we will see. That's my thought at least. And attach this wing to the insignia wing so it attaches with the same attachment points. It will of course sit lower, but this is, as I said before, just a prototype build. This is like my vision, how I think it should look. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a prototype build to see if it's possible, and I would say a super yes, it's very possible. And I will do this. Yes, I will. But it's going to take a bit of time, so I will not start off right away, because this is also my daily driver, so I need it, and I don't have time to start cutting and start doing all of this job right now. So this prototype build was to see, is it possible? And I would say very much yes. As I said before, the rear window will be lowered, so the roof line from the spoiler will be lower, so I think it will match up perfectly with the body lines of the roof. And the spoiler will also sit a couple of centimeters lower, so in the end it will be really good. And there is a few things to solve. I will check with a contact, a friend of mine, with the glass, how easy it is to cut. Otherwise I'm just super stoked how it turned out. Now you could like close your eyes a little bit and you will see the final product, and this is just amazing. So if this turns out good, I have tons of plans. And this car, if I make it a sports combi, I will daily drive it, because I understand the people that has the real deal. I understand that you want to be careful with the car, because if you end up in an accident you don't have spare parts. But in this case, of course, it will be terrible because you have to rebuild stuff. But I will use this car track days, daily driving back and forth to work, everything. And we also have a few plans to make like Europe road trips with the family in the future. So this will be an awesome family car with a lot of space in the trunk. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I would also like to know what you guys think about the build, how it turned out, the first prototype. And subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!